Would y'all join me in the invocation this morning? Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this day, and we're grateful as always to come into your presence, and we're thankful that we get an opportunity to serve our community. We pray, Lord, that you would give us wisdom and direction as we deliberate on our county's business. Help us to make wise choices that are a blessing to everyone here. Father, thank you for all you do for us. We do pray for those who are not able to attend, those who are sick across our county, those who need your healing hand. We ask you to minister to them even now. Again, thank you for allowing us to do this today. We do pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Join me in the pledge of the United States flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, Texas pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Today, starting under our announcements section, we do have a proclamation declaring May 2024 as Mental Health Awareness Month in Harrison County. I know we've got some folks here from Community Health Corps. Would y'all like to come up and speak? You have something you'd like to say on this proclamation, Ms. Brady? Thank you, guys. Certainly, my office, we deal with Community Health Corps a lot, and we appreciate working with you guys, but more than that, we appreciate what you're doing for the folks in our community, because there's a real need out there, and you guys are helping us meet that, so thank y'all. We sure can. Y'all want to come down front, guys? Are there any other announcements today? Anything we need to be aware of? Don't see any public comments. Y'all have any public comments? Anybody? We do have a quorum present today. Present and voting Precinct 1 is Commissioner Hatfield. Precinct 2, Commissioner Timmons. Sims presiding. Precinct 3 is Commissioner Malden. Precinct 4 is Commissioner Ebar. We'll call County Court to order. It is 9:08 a.m. here on the 7th day of May. We're in the historic courthouse here in Harrison County, Marshall, Texas. First item on our agenda is to be from our auditor. Administrative report. Good morning, Ms. Haynes.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. You have a copy of the March financial report. We'll refer to page 1. The listing of our fund balance as of March 2024. We have a fund balance of $41,203,127. Keep in mind, these are unaudited and unadjusted financials. On page 2 is a summary of the general fund as of
Thank you, Ms. Haynes. Any questions for Ms. Haynes on the administrative report? If not, we'll move on to item number 1. This is consideration and approval regarding line item transfers.
I'm requesting transfers of $20,301.61.
Is there a
Motion to approve.
Second.
We got a motion by Commissioner Malden, second by Commissioner Ebarb. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Item number 2 is consideration and approval of payment of regular bills.
Okay, there's some changes to the payment of bills. The report you have us issuing payments of $519,683.33. If you refer to page 21 of the report, there are, within the county grant fund, it's Department 701, there's payment of $9,173.07. That was submitted, or paid incorrectly. We should have only paid $803.86. A portion of that, what that is related to is the tobacco stings that are, performed by the sheriff's department. And there are payroll expenses that were included in the accounts payable that had already been processed through payroll. So instead of the $519,643.33, we will be issuing payment for $511,274.12. Now, of that $511,047,203.03 will be paid by grant funds. We have $46,000 related to the confinement mitigation grant that we are paying this time. We are submitting reimbursement requests for that grant, so we should start seeing some funds come in for those reimbursement requests.
Ms. Haynes, can you get us an updated, corrected copy of this to go in our exhibits?
What I can do is give you a summary. I'm not sure if we can do a corrected. Do you think I can do a corrected report? I can give you a summary of the corrections.
Okay, well, I've made some notes in here, and we can use this as our exhibit. I just want to make sure that we were,
My apologies for the changes.
Clear.
That when we were signing checks yesterday, that's when we realized there was an issue.
okay,
And we wanted to be sure it was corrected and payment not be issued.
Sure,
incorrectly.
sure.
So, my apologies for the late notice of the changes, but we will get you something,
okay.
okay?
Just a quick moment.
I apologize, but we take ownership of that error, and we put invoice in my office here, that some of that should be made through payroll, that already been received through payroll, and it was not called until we were signing checks yesterday.
No problem, thank you. All right, do we have a motion to pay our regular bills? That's a total of $511,274.12. That reduced grant expense for the tobacco stings is what made the change. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Ebarb. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item number 3 is consideration and approval of payroll for April 26, 2024.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. Any questions or comments on our payroll? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Number 4 is consideration and action to accept and certify new revenue and approve a budget amendment pursuant to Local Government Code 111.0108 for insurance proceeds for hail-damaged vehicles from the February storm.
As you're aware, we had multiple vehicles that were damaged in the hailstorm, and we have received
Did each vehicle have its own deductible?
Unfortunately so.
What was
So
that?
that means that we have $61,000 in deductibles.
Oof.
Let me ask you a question. How is each department gonna have to, because that is the money, where's it coming from for them to cover their deductibles? Because it wasn't put in the budget.
It's not put in the budget, you're correct.
So I mean, if they expend 61,000 total out of their, from each department, is it replaced with an amendment? Because we're taking, you know, with the sheriff's department and road and bridge having the most vehicles, I mean, you're gonna take $25,000 or $30,000 out of their budget that wasn't put there to start with at the end of the year. So does that mean road and bridge can't do a half a mile of work this summer because they're gonna have to cover it or what?
For road and bridge,
I'm just, I mean,
there's
I'm,
$30,000.
Exactly.
Deductibles. For sheriff's department, there's $27,000 related to deductibles. In the past, and granted, we have not had this significant of deductibles where it's $61,000 in deductibles. In the past, the department was expected to cover the deductible. That's, if y'all choose to do something differently this time,
well, I could understand if you had two or three, you know, and you're talking about $2,000 or $3,000, but when you're talking about 30,000 at road and bridge, and probably the sheriff's department's 25 or what, 27, so, you know, there's 57,000 of the 61,000 that's coming out of your two biggest departments, so, I mean, and the money that the insurance is paying is actually gonna go to a car dealer somewhere, or that's gonna fix the dings, or are we gonna wait till it heats up this summer and see how many of them pop out before we have it fixed?
some of them are not being repaired because we're not going to be, we're selling them in the auction.
County owned vehicles will not be repaired.
Okay.
We are having to repair the enterprise vehicles because they were repaired when they give them the bill us for.
Okay, okay. But I just, it's hard for me to envision how, you know, you force road and bridge and sheriff's department to cover $57,000 hickey on hail damage out of their budget. I
But
mean,
there's only one way to do it, and that's to move funds out of our fund balance to cover those. If they have, sheriff's office has a shortfall, road and bridge has a shortfall and needs additional funds, oftentimes, both of those departments have funds left over each year. So if certainly, guys, if y'all find yourselves in a pinch, you need to let us know.
I'm happy if they happy, I just don't understand how you know, how you go about taking that.
Right, and there's always surplus at the end of the year. So it becomes money management.
Have y'all looked at what we're not, how many county-owned vehicles that we're not gonna repair? So it's the 4,000 is left? Huh? Well, it doesn't matter, I'm just saying,
No, sir, the 4,000 that's left is, they're related to the jails.
Okay.
So, I mean, each of the items, there's other departments, the jail, the sheriff's department, and the, road and bridge departments, of course, have the most significant. The spreadsheet identified, you can see at the top, let's see, I'm sure it's page 3 or maybe page 2. I've identified which ones were released and which ones are owned. Now, if they've been declared surplus, more than likely, if they're declared surplus and are county owned, we will not be repairing those. So, like for road and bridge, there's $8,000 there that we're getting in insurance proceeds that we're not gonna, have an associated expense. So that will help cover some of the
shortfall.
shortfall.
Good question, Commissioner. If y'all happy, I'm happy, I just,
Well, unfortunately, you can't plan for those kind of things.
Exactly.
So we have to do this after the fact to make them whole.
And there'll be another budget amendment related to the property damage for buildings once we receive the funds for that. But,
Thankfully, there's only one deductible for all the buildings.
for all of it.
right, the individual deductibles for the vehicles first.
Any other questions on this budget amendment? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item number 5 is consideration and action to approve the creation of the petty cash fund for justice of the peace number 1 of $100 and increase of petty cash fund for justice of the peace number 3 from $12 to $100.
This is a request from each of the JPs. Originally, I thought each of the JPs had a petty cash fund. Upon research, it was identified that JP 3 only had $1 in petty cash. And JP 1 was utilizing their change fund that they have to provide change to citizens as they pay their fines. They were utilizing that, which should not have been occurring. So what I'm requesting is, since they are not located here in Marshall, requesting a petty cash fund for them to utilize for postage. And then they'll do it the same way that the sheriff's department and road and bridge does as they deplete their petty cash fund. They'll submit receipts to the treasurer, and that will be through our bill pay process, and their petty cash fund will be replenished. And I've gone over this with each of the JPs.
So they know how to manage that account.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you for setting that up for them. Any questions or comments about the petty cash funds for the 2 JP courts? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebarb, second by Commissioner Malden. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Item number 6 is consideration and approval for final payment of 6 motor graders.
This is the balloon payment for the 6 motor graders that have been returned, requesting payment for, almost $1.2 million.
1.181,160.
Yes. And so this will completely pay off the motor graders that we have already returned and we have already received the buyback from
What was the buyback?
960.
All right, before us, we've got a consideration approval for the final payment of the 6 motor graders. That was the ones that we had returned that have been bought back from us, and we have received those funds back of $960,000. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Thank you, ma'am. Next up is our Road and Bridge Department Administrative Report. Good morning, Mr. Davis. Good.
Y'all should have a shop review bi-weekly from 4:03 to 4:30. Since our last court meeting, we've issued 49 road permits. Right now, we're preparing to kick off our construction some, so we're starting to prep our roads and get them ready. Of course, we're still cleaning up from all the bad weather we've been having the last 2 months. We are starting to see a little bit of light. We don't get hit with any more flood. A lot of patching and overlaying going on, and we're getting ready to start our contract over. There's supposed to start here in the next week or 2. We'll start Harlton area. We'll go sort of counterclockwise.
You think it,
When we get around the lake area, it'll be a little bit drier by that time.
that's what I was gonna ask, you think it's dry enough to get in those ditches?
Yes, sir, we can start up in the Carlton area, there's a lot of hills, it's real sandy,
Okay.
so by the time they get down to that part of our county, it should be a lot drier.
How's our Pro Patcher doing?
It is doing excellent,
Good,
we've been running it every day.
very good.
A lot of people are noticing that, I get it.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
People stop, think on it, you just wanna look at it.
You guys have any questions for Mr. Davis on his administrative report? All right, we'll move on to item number 1. This is consideration approval of personnel changes for Harrison County Road and Bridge.
There have been no changes since our last court meeting, but this week I had 3 employees that came to us that are fixing to move on. They've got employment somewhere else. This pay scale is just, they can't stay out there and do it. But they all like the job, you know, they just couldn't stay out there for that kind of pay.
Luke, how is the pay scale of Harrison County and we'll say the surrounding counties around us? What's the balance, the difference?
Well, we're actually working on that. We're gonna get some numbers together to sort of give y'all a presentation.
Okay,
You know, these guys, they just can't pay their bills and feed their families.
right, we have to understand that Longview is not that far. Neither is Panola County, it's in driving distance, you know, so.
How many you say you're losing, Luke?
3,
And that, what would that give us, 7 that we're down?
yes, we'll have 7 in response. Going into our busiest time of year.
These 3 that are leaving, are they operators or?
One of them was a lead man, operator, and the other 2 are truck drivers.
Are they leaving going to other counties or going to oil field or
Field, private contractors.
private contractors?
And you can't blame them.
No.
One
All right.
thing that we have to realize is these guys, they kind of, like put their lives on the line anytime they go out in this bad weather.
Yes, sir.
Thunder, lightning, they cutting trees and trees constantly falling.
Yes,
And
sir.
so, but they take care of us and hopefully during budget time, we'll be able to take care of them.
Sure would appreciate any help we can get.
All right, is there a motion to approve our personnel changes, which are none?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebarb, second by Commissioner Timmons, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Item number 2 is consideration and approval of the utility application submitted to the Harrison County Road and Bridge Department as follows. East Tex Telephone Co-op on Owen George Road, which is County Road 2710. East Tex Telephone Co-op on Mount Zion Baptist Church Road, which is County Road 2711. East Tex Telephone Cooperative on Masters Road, which is County Road 2712. East Tex Telephone Co-op on Concord Road, which is County Road 2713. E-Tex Telephone Co-op on McPhail Road, which is County Road 4121. And again, E-Tex Telephone Co-op on McPhail Road, County Road 4121. E-Tex Telephone Co-op on Ferguson Road, which is County Road 4312. E-Tex Telephone Co-op on Driscoll Bridge Road, which is County Road 4106. Gemini Carthage Pipeline on Coleman Road, which is County Road 2211. Again, Gemini Carthage Pipeline on Lotter Road, which is County Road 2705.
Yes, sir, there are numerous utility applications presented today. The majority of them are all fiber optic. The apps for Gemini are gonna be high pressure natural, gas pipelines. All the applications have been reviewed. They meet our standards outlined in our utilities application.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Ebarb. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Next up, number 3 is consideration and approval of the 2024 preliminary road construction plan for the Road and Bridge Department.
Yes, sir, the road and bridge, we're presenting this, construction plan to y'all for this, year's summer work. It's right at 20 miles of road. But we'll go as far as the money will let us go, you know.
Mr. Davis, when are we planning on starting seal coat? Is that 20 you're talking about, or near 20, is that seal coat and rebuild, or is that just the rebuild?
That's gonna be both of them.
To combine? I noticed looking through, there's several roads in each precinct that's marked contingency. Is that just
Yes, sir.
depending on the weather conditions?
Save money on it, we might not use as much road oil, so when we get through, whatever money we got left, we'll just go on to the next contingency.
Mr. Davis, would y'all pay some attention since it's gonna be August until we do the steel coat to the Fern Lake Cutoff Road? You know, we had some issues on that road, didn't get our formula quite right, and it's not holding up, and I'm still getting phone calls from folks that are not happy work's having problems. So would you mind going out and just, until we can get seal coat on it? Because I've talked to a lot of folks and let them know that we fully realize that something went wrong, we're not sure, but they're not gonna have to live with that road for very much longer. We're gonna put seal coat on it. So would you mind double checking on Fern Lake Cutoff and,
That was one of those roads we got caught in rain shower, so it didn't come out as good. We did go back and overlay a few spots.
right?
We chip seal it, it'd be fine.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about, but let's just, yeah, because a lot of people use that road to cut through to the loop, so. Yeah, so. I know you will, so let's watch after it till we can get a top on it.
Any other questions about our preliminary road construction plan? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Ebarb. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item number 4 is consideration and approval of the 2024 preliminary seal coat plan for Road and Bridge Department.
Seal coat 10.669 miles of, a lot of roads we redone last year. We'd like to go ahead and put that chip seal on the following year. It just finishes the road off and then gives it a good finish drive. It stops your hydroplane in your wet time of the year and stuff like that. It just really makes it stand out and look better.
I guess it surprises me at the car count on Boggy Road. It's 2 or 3 times what most of the other roads are.
Yeah, it's very busy over there toward all that state line area.
Is there still a lot of drilling going there?
No, they're finished up.
They're finished.
Any questions or comments on our seal coat plan? So that was 20 miles for the road construction and 10 miles for seal coat, is that right?
16.
I don't have a list.
Yes, sir, it's
Six.
6,000 for construction and 10.669 for civil.
16.9, so, or is it more?
It's more, it's 19.
19.5.
So we've added, there's been a road added to this that you said us?
An issue with the formulas that were stolen on that last page in the original list. that I
So it,
sent you
oh,
all.
okay, so it's not, it's wrong.
The one that was submitted for the commissioner's court should be correct.
I just assumed it was, and it's what, 19 what?
19.555.
Weather communicate be best, or,
All right, any questions on our seal coat plan? Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Consideration, number 5 is consideration and action to approve an amendment to the Harrison County addressing standards for clarification and a process for removal of future variances from the standard.
The road and bridge has shared this proposed amendment of the report.
So it looks like we're only gonna be addressing residences, not sheds or barns or RV covers or vacant properties. We're not gonna assign those.
Put some kind of guidelines in there because, if you don't, you're gonna, like you say, you're gonna have a road with a barn on it. People are gonna want a private road number and address.
Yeah, okay. And is this pretty consistent, I suppose, with other counties that EDCOG, deals with?
Yes.
Okay.
I had one question when I read number 2 on y'all's proposal, and the question that comes to my mind, what happens on a private road if an individual goes out, buys a piece of property and builds a house? Are they assigned a 911 address, or?
If there's less than 5 structures on the road, they're addressed off the road. So if it's on Main Street and their drive is what it's considered a driveway until there's 5 residents on that road, they would be addressed off of Main Street that the driveway came off of.
Well, my question is how is dispatch handle the fire, ambulance, or deputies on a call out to a road that's not numbered? My question is if, even though it's only one house on the road, they're gonna be on the tax roll for the ESD and the county tax. So they deserve protection from the 911 dispatch. So how is it dispatched to that location in the event that that's the only house on that road?
So when they assign the address, EDCOG enters it into a system that I understand when dispatch takes a call, this system shows dispatch where that address is.
Okay.
So we get an address and say private drives.
But I mean, they're covered, they will have the ability to have dispatch send whatever they need to that location.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Dwight, you have a comment?
Yeah, I did want to say that even though we established a pretty regulated set of guidelines, there's still gonna have to be some things like that. Give you an example, I got involved in. We got the fire department, Snyder Law Company. That road that we access that is actually an easement, which belongs to, Sherry,
Arnold, Miss Arnold.
anyway, there's no address down there. That's a lot, that's how we access it. I realized when I had a concealed carry class out there that there was no way to notify dispatch that, hey, we've got an emergency, other than to say the fire range was, to let them know where the fire range is lost. So, in the process of getting that address, had to research and found out that the easement belongs to Sherry. We'll be bringing that up later. She has agreed, to let us, give that road name or county road number, whatever we need, private road number, whatever we need to do so that we can put an address at the fire range in case of emergency. So there's still gonna be some case by case stuff. They'll have to bend the rules and just play by ear.
And that's addressed in number 3 on the addressing standards. There's a process for, because as of this time, it's just been kind of coming to road and bridge, and we talked to Dwight or whatever, but there is a process set up in that amendment so that if a variance is needed, input's taken, and then we go to EDCOG with what the consensus is on that variance.
Well, anytime a house applies for utility service, whether it's electric or water or gas, Upshur rule in Gilmer won't supply a service without a 911 address. So that was my question, as I brought in before, how is it verified as to?
That's what EDCOG,
That's what
that's
they are,
what they're doing.
okay. Well, I know there's gonna be some pains because we're trying to correct a lot of deficiencies in our old maps and stuff that, so, yeah.
EDCOG's gonna enter all the information into the system.
Just as long as, Okay. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Any other questions or comments on our addressing standards? Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Hatfield. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Number 6 is consideration and action to approve the final plat for Wildcats Place, a subdivision off of Davidson Road, which is County Road 4501 in precinct 4.
Yes, sir, this development is 7 lots, and, it's 5.946 acres, and it's along Davidson Road. It has been reviewed through our standard outline in our subdivision application in order.
Will they have, it looks like all these lots front on Davidson Road, so there'll be no private road.
All the lots face Davidson.
Okay. All right, is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebarb, second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Number 7 is consideration and action to rescind the order dated April 23rd, 2024, authorizing publication for the public notice and setting of a public hearing for the purpose of abandoning 200 feet of the northeasternmost end of Amos Road, which is County Road 3433 in Precinct 3, as the public notice did not get posted on the said road per the Transportation Code. So since we didn't get this posted, we need to rescind this and then redo it. Is that what we're doing?
Correct, we didn't get it posted in the required time frame.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Number 8 is consideration and approval of the I'm sorry.
Luke, could I ask a quick question on that, 200 feet that we're abandoning? Is that homeowner, is that his property on both sides?
Yes, sir, that's correct. He does own property on both sides of that 200 foot. He owns all the property
Okay,
on both sides.
I'm good.
I think y'all explained that a little more last time, in detail, but there's nobody there. It has to, all the adjacent landowners have to agree with that, and everybody's fine with it.
He had a petition, a signed
Right.
petition with all those surrounding
Yeah.
landowners and people that live down there.
Very good. All right, item number 8, consideration and approval of the authorization to publish a public notice and set a public hearing for the purpose of abandoning 200 feet of the northeasternmost end of Amos Road, which is County Road 3433 in Precinct 3, as required by the Transportation Code, Section 251.052.
Yeah, this is a request to set a published notice for abandonment of the 200 foot of Amos Road. And the owner has purchased the petition and required documentation to begin this process. He does own property on both sides as we just spoke there.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Malden, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes 5-0. Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Thank you.
Next up, Sheriff's Department, our administrative report. Good morning, Sheriff.
Morning.
Good.
Right.
Our activity summary from April 3rd to April 30th. We answered 2,416 calls, for service, took 135 criminal reports, assigned 48 to the Criminal Investigation Division. Arrested 75 persons, 231 traffic contacts, 5 of them were dealt with, 29
Are your dispatchers and your deputies finding any difference with us going with EdCog services? Has that been helpful?
Yeah, well, in all honesty, I haven't asked that question, but I'm going to, when I go back today, I'm gonna find that out. From what I've been told, the 911 address is, well, I don't know that it is, but it's supposed to be, set up a little better. I will find those questions out today.
We've not fully switched over to EdCog from Texas Eastern 911. That's right. It's a work in progress, but I was just hoping to hear, and I'm sure at some point we will, that the new updated information from EdCog will be a lot better because they use the latest and greatest software and mapping that there is. So
Absolutely. I do think in the end, it will better serve us and obviously our citizens.
sure.
For emergency response and location, things like that.
Yep. Dwight, you have a comment on that?
I was gonna say, that you well know, EdCog are running the same thing Sheriff was talking about. That they're constantly finding houses that are addressed wrong or not at all. And so they're in the same process that we are getting all that updated.
Whenever our dispatchers and supervisor make those changes, does EdCog receive those same? So, okay. I just wouldn't want us to be doing the same.
They have access, they actually go in their system.
Okay,
Once they change it, it changes it the whole.
good deal. Very good. All right. Any questions for the sheriff on the administrative report? Thank you for that, Sheriff. If not, we'll move on to item number 1. This is consideration and approval of the jail contract between Wiley College and Harrison County. Standard.
Like any other contract we do with Lost from Home, Leaderfield ISD, Marshall ISD, Marshall Police Department. Their police department just wanting to have access and use of the jail, offices, building, and everything else, just the same as it does for everybody else.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Number 2 is consideration and action regarding the approval of the request to review and accept the amended and combined contract between Harrison County and Texas Department of State Services. The jail and juvenile grants were scheduled to be separate, but CDC decided they preferred a combined contract. All right.
It's not, two contracts, first one is a separate contract, the one we're talking about is actually our jail and juvenile grant. This goes back quite a ways, y'all might remember we applied, for this almost 2 years ago. And it has been a very lengthy and painstaking process. Basically, and I'll kind of start and get the business end up taken care of first.
And these funds are generally aimed at disease prevention mostly, is that right?
Yeah.
So anything that we can relate to some kind of health improvement or whatever, we're,
Everything had to be COVID related.
okay.
It wasn't specific, yeah.
Before we move on, Dwight, you don't know this, but we talk about you over here, about you in the back all the time, but I want to tell you to your face, how much we appreciate what you've done. And not only that, I want to bring to life what we've done, just real quick. We started this grant writing thing almost 4 years ago. Wasn't sure how it was gonna take off, and neither was everybody else, I wasn't sure I wasn't wasting a bunch of money. But since that time, including the COVID relief grants and everything that Dwight has had a hand in and or written himself, has brought Harrison County somewhere in the neighborhood of $16 million, including this new grant. That's pretty impressive.
No doubt.
That's pretty impressive. That's money we never had before. There's nobody, every time I brought the word grant, it was said, I ain't messing with it. It's too much trouble. It's too, it's not what you gotta do. Dwight don't bother me with it. He makes sure he gets it done. He recruits his own people to help him with it. If they have an interest and they want it, then you're gonna work with me on it. He's good at that. He's good at what he does. And I'm very, very pleased of the things. You know, we have shields in every patrol car. We have ballistic, not just the vest they wear, but rifle, rated plate carriers in all of our cars. We have gobs of SWAT team equipment and armored stuff and this and that. Obviously, thanks to the Corps for letting us do it, but the Dwight's handiwork on this grant writing program has really, really paid off for the sheriff's office and for the county, I think. And I don't think it needs to be overlooked. You do a fantastic job, we appreciate it.
We
And
do
I'd like to echo in on that. The folks at East Texas Council of Government think a lot of Dwight Mays. They say he is a pleasure to work with. They look forward to him. They know all the T's are gonna be crossed and the I's are gonna be dotted when he turns his work in, and he does an outstanding job. And thank you, Sheriff, for having this man.
Appreciate it.
Yep, we echo that. Thank you, Dwight, very much. You're a big blessing to our county. Anything else on this amended, contract for the jail and juvenile grants?
Just let me know if y'all approve and I'll hear your motion.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Malden. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Next up is purchasing. Good morning, Ms. Harkins.
Morning.
Before we start, I wanted to let you know that we are in the midst of our auction. We've got 10 vehicles, it'll close on Thursday. 10 vehicles all have a bid on them, and 1 out of 8 of our pieces of jewelry is a bid.
All right, so this is some of the drug seizure,
Yes, yep.
but all the vehicles aren't from
All
that.
vehicles, there are road bridge and juvenile.
Okay, very good. All right, item number 1 is consideration approval of the payment to Marathon Engineering, the amount of $1,725 for quote number 2024-3018 for medium maintenance kit for the Annex Jail Violent Cell Repair.
Marathon Engineering requires payment upfront. Currently, the Violent Jail Cell has a quarter size piece that is damaged and about a sliver that is the size of a pin that is damaged, so this will help repair that.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Thank you, ma'am. Item number 1 under new business, this is consideration and action regarding the approval of the agreement between Nichols, Jackson, Dillard, Hager, and Smith LLP in Harrison County for provision of special counsel legal services regarding economic development. Guys, I can tell you that I met with Rush Harris, and this is in regards to looking at some of our policies and procedures and getting some legal counsel, and Medco was willing to provide payment for these services. They'll be fully paid for by Medco, no charge to the county, but certainly it's a benefit to the county, to the city, to Medco, to have updated and current policies, especially around tax abatements, and they also are called 381 agreements, which are similar to tax abatements, but having some legal counsel, some guidance through those is helpful, and again, no cost to the county. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item number 2 is consideration and approval of out-of-state travel to send Leslie Halsey to district judges, in the district judge's office, to the National Association of Court Management Conference in New Orleans, Louisiana, on July 20th through the 25th, 2024.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Malden, second by Commissioner Ebarb. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Number 3 is consideration and action to approve the resolution to nominate Eastman Chemical Company for the Texas Enterprise Zone program. And I'd like to defer this one. I don't believe we have enough information from Eastman for us to fully consider and approve this item. It may come back to you guys on a ratification if they need it sooner, but we're waiting on some additional information and thought we might have it by today, but we don't. So we'll defer item number 3 to a later date. Item number 4, so there's no action there on number 3. Item number 4 is consideration and action regarding the approval of Harrison County Airport ground lease tenant constructed hangar between Harrison County and Sam Bach, commencing on May 1, 2024, and ending on December 31, 2057, and aircraft registrations.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. This is our standard lease agreement that we've been using with all our lessees. Mr. Bach intends to build a new hangar north end of the airport. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Our last item is consideration and discussion regarding the status of the Harrison County website. Commissioner Hatfield, I know you've had some thoughts and comments on this. I know our county website's down right now as we speak.
Right. I'd like to see us reach out to the Texas Association of Counties and see what they have offered. They do websites and web pages, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. Ms. Graff and I have talked about it several times, and with the sales tax thing that we're gonna put on the agenda in November, I think it would be a real good idea to have a decent website where people can go through and understand that we're trying to do a good job up here, and let it be a reflection of the work that we do here at Harrison County. And important election is coming up in November, presidential election, and back in March during the primary, I had a lot of phone calls about people were complaining that didn't y'all spend over $1 million on voting equipment. The answer is yes, but the voting equipment had nothing to do with the website. So I'd like to see if we could look into that and make some improvements. Ms. Graff has a little detailed sheet that she shared with me last week that kind of gives us a little bit of idea, some bullet points of what's going on. But I think it'd be a good idea for us to make some improvements.
You know, Mr. Robinette from the elections office also was interested in upgrading the website and using the Texas Association of Counties to do that, so that they could, he could more easily post election information and
Right.
results. And
Yeah.
so I agree. I think it's They do it for many other counties across the state. They've already got a template. It's not having to build something from scratch, brand new like ours is, completely separate from anything any other counties are doing.
And I have no idea what kind of monies we're talking about on spending this. I know they have different levels, but I'd like for us to work on that.
All right, there's no action here, but I'll be happy to visit with our IT department, Charlie Denninger, and ask him to take a look into what it would take for us to get a new website up and running using the Texas Association of Counties product.
Yeah.
Any other questions,
Yeah,
comments?
one clarification though is that, in November, it's not a sales tax election, it's a special assistance district election.
Okay, my bad,
County Assistance District, that's right.
yeah.
All right, nothing else on the website. That brings us to our last item. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. It is 10:11 a.m. We are adjourned.